What's up, everybody? That's back with another movie review. Today we're going to talk about Tenet. It's a movie that I've been looking forward to seeing since the first trailer. I'm a Christopher Nolan fan, so anything that he does, I'm looking forward to seeing. From the Batman movies, you had Inception, Interstellar, Dunkirk. So Tenet is like his latest movie, and from the first trailer, I was like, "What is going on here?" What's the point of this? Some people were speculating it was like a almost like a sequel to Inception. So we were everybody was like kind of wondering how this was going to go. And let me just say, uh, that's a movie you have to be paying attention to. Like, I'm looking forward to seeing it a second time or a third time because there's so many details in this story that you have to be paying attention. You have to be like looking at it and saying what is going on. Uh, the acting, let me just get it out of the way, is fantastic. John David Washington is his father's son. I mean, this guy has the chops. Like, he is phenomenal. Like, he shows his full range. He's just really good in this movie. He's a perfect lead. And he is picking up from where his father left off. He's going to have a long, successful career. He's already shown his diversity in the movies that he can make and the roles he can play. So this just adds on to it. Like, he can be an action star, and he really, really kind of stole the show. And it showed. Like, this movie is like made for him. Robert Pattinson is really good in this as well. They have great chemistry, and as the story unfolds, you're like wondering what's going to happen, and you're like just following them, and the dialogue is great. But like I said, you have to be paying attention when you're watching this movie. Like, this is one of those movies where if you look away for 30 seconds, if you're not paying attention, if for whatever reason you become distracted in the theater, or if when you watch it at home, if you become distracted the first time you see this movie, you're going to miss something, and that something is going to play a big part in what's happening, and you're going to be confused. And there's times I'm watching this movie, I'm paying attention, and I was like in my mind thinking, I wish I could take notes right now. I wish I could just write this stuff down because there's so much happening. And that's one of the things that Christopher Nolan does so well is as the movie goes along and as the plot unwinds and you see the story, he doesn't give anything away until he needs to give it away. And this is like he did that in Inception. Like, he left you guessing at the end of Inception, Interstellar. Like, you didn't know what was going on until like the very end. So like he really put everything together. Dunkirk was a little more straightforward, war movie, but he does this time and time again, and he did it again in Tenet. The movie, like from the very first scene, which I saw in a trailer in the IMAX over the holidays, and I was like, wow, this is like great. And to know that this is like the first scene in the movie, and it's just like everything that's going on, you're like, I was like, oh shit! Like, I didn't realize this until seeing the movie, of course, and then how everything just kind of plays into what's happening after that is just it's phenomenal. Like, he does just such a great job. This movie does a great job of showing you what it needs to show you when it's time, and that is so rare that you have these plot twists and turns, and that everything isn't given away in the beginning. A lot of times you watch a movie and uh, what's going to happen, like how it's going to play out, and it's more about the execution than it is the story. Like, okay, this is a tried and true story. Like, what happens now? Like, how do they execute this? Does the acting do well? Does everything come together because of that? So that's like the key. And in this movie, it does like this, but this movie isn't like that because you don't know what's going on. You don't know what's happening. It's not uh, something that's very predictable. So it's a great movie. It's definitely if you feel safe, it's definitely worth going to see in the movie theaters. If not, as soon as it comes out, you can watch this at home. You need to see it. You need to check it out. Like, I know that AMC worked out a deal with a lot of studios, so now they're having like 17 days, and then they can go like on demand or whatever. So if you can catch it on demand, you should definitely see this. If you're a Christopher Nolan fan at all, if you're a John David Washington fan at all, if you're a Robert Pattinson fan at all, this is a movie that you got to see. Like I said, you have to be paying attention though. That's like the key. If you're not paying attention, this movie's going to kind of go over your head, and you're not going to like it. So as long as you're willing to put in that effort that a Nolan movie kind of requires you to put in anyway, then you're going to be fine. This is definitely a must see. Go check it out. When you see it, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. And until the next one, peace.